Hello everyone, and let's take a look at class balance. This should be a good laugh. The last video we did on class balance, it was a good chuckle. It was a good chuckle. We were angry this time. Now we're just find it funny now. Just laugh at the changes they make to classes because they have no idea about class balance. Let's go and see what these idiots have come up with now. So the Inquisitor, the Sith Inquisitor first, the Sorcerer, they're nerfing the healing. Yes, Corruption's getting nerfed, thank fuck. Thank fuck it's getting nerfed, right, okay. Dark Heal's force cost is going up, basically the force cost of everything is going up, okay. Dark Heal, force cost is up to 70 from 55. Resurgence is going up to 40 from 30. Static Barrier is going up 45 from 35. Dark Infusion, should we say, is going up from 37 to 45. Heals for a little bit more. It's going to be 3% more healing. So, you're going to do a bit more burst, but a bit less sustained, I'm guessing. Enervate now is up from, quite a significant up from 48 to 60, and heals for 4% more now. Revivication, again, is up from 60 to 75. Roaming Mend is up from 50 to 65. And heals for slightly more. Okay, 1.28% is what they've said. The healing done by renewal has been increased by 3.7% to match the healing done by the heal over time portion of Resurgence. Yeah, renewal is the buff, isn't it, on Resurgence. Actually, I'm reading the Empire ones when I really shouldn't be, because I'm like, Penetrating Darkness now increases your bonus healing by 3%, down from 5. Ooh, significant nerf. Okay, the designer note here, Corruption Sorcerers presently exceptional healers who outperform other healing, yeah, no shit, other healing disciplines in the game and create unbalanced PvE and PvP scenario. Well, PvP in particular. Have you ever tried to kill a healer sorcerer in PvP? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I joke that it shouldn't be called PvP. They should just rename it Sages versus Sorcerers. I shit you not, I had an arena match where it was 7 sorcerers and I was the sniper. And they blamed me for the defeat, right? It was 4 Sorks versus a team of 3 Sorks and me as the sniper. I shit you not, 7 out of 8 people, sorcerers, okay? I think one of them was a healer on the other team, obviously, because you don't get healers on your team. Of course we lost. Of course we lost, if you're wondering what happened. So yeah, what they do is increasing the force cost of heals. To be honest, in a PvE environment, the force cost is irrelevant, because we have with the amount of crit we're running now, we've got near infinite force anyway. I mean, it just means what? We're just going to have to press, or what is it called? Whatever Noble Sacrifice got changed to. We're going to have to press that. It's been a long time since we played a Sage Healer, right? It's been a long, long time. It's been about maybe 6 months or something like that since we've actually played a Sage Healer. But, I mean, with the amount of crit that we have in our 224 gear, and most raiders, who main a Sage are, sitting 40-odd% crit. You've got about, I think it's about 1400 crit you want for a Sage. 1400 crit, about 1000 alacrity. Generally is about where you sit, so yeah, you're sitting like 41-42% crit plus the 25% crit bonus. Maybe nerfing the crit chance bonus that you get from you press Resurgence and then you press Enervate, because it gives you, I think it's 20% crit. Maybe nerfing that down a bit would have maybe made us more force aware. But unless we can generate stacks of whatever the hell that... What was it called again? It was Noble Sacrifice. It used to cost you health, and then they changed it to something else. I can't remember. Let's move on. I don't remember what it's called. We'll call it Noble Sacrifice. I'll just call it that. Especially with your 4-piece set bonus as well. That, gives you the extra force regen. And, we're running it as Resplendence as the stacks that you generate from critical ticks of Enervate. And healing trance. Fuck it, we use Republic terminology. Healing trance. So, you know, you were always had stacks of Resplendence to spare if you had enough crit. So it's never really a huge issue. It just means we're going to be pressing them sooner. But to be honest, we were dumping Resplendence. We were full of it, you know. In a well-geared Sage was never running out of Resplendent stacks, okay? Some may wonder why we did not just increase the healing abilities of other healing disciplines in-game to match that of the Corruption Sorcerer. Well, it's not just their healing ability, it's more of their mobility, their ability to teleport, their God Bubble. It's particularly in PvP, this is. Yeah, what happens is you have a fight with a Sorcerer, half your burst goes to waste, because they're bubbled. Oh, well, they've got the static barrier up, you know, so half your burst has gone to waste. And then what they do is use the little push knockback, have the root, obviously, root you, run away while channeling Enervate. And they've got full health again by the time you catch up to them. By the time you break their root, catch up to them, either that they'll teleport away, and then just, you know, spam heals on themselves. If you get them down to low health, they're just going to blow their God Bubble, and then you're screwed, really. So yeah, PvP is massively imbalanced in terms of the Corruption Sorcerer. Let's move on to Madness. The radius of Death Field has been reduced to 5 meters, down from 8. There goes our dot spreads. The thing is, though, it's gonna hurt pugs, this is, okay? The designer note, Death Field's AoE damage and dot spread potential is too effective. You're too effective. You're too good, right? Because we can't balance difficulty or content, so you're too good, so we're just gonna nerf everything. Too effective PvE and PvP, reducing the radius, allow other instant damaging AoE abilities, to match all other instant damaging AoE abilities currently in the game. I take it they're not including what's it called, Orbital Strike in that, because that's a huge radius that has. I guess it matches things like Plasma Probe and Death from Above. I'm guessing that they've done. It's not really going to affect if you've got a good tank in a PvE environment and you want to do dot spreading. If you've got a good tanks who can pull packs together and keep them together, it's not going to be an issue. PvE, okay, it's not really a huge issue anymore, because if your tanks are good at pulling and getting packs packed in, getting that sort of death ball so you can just sit there and AoE. Although most sages in tactical flashpoints use Overload as their AoE. Still use Overload. I've seen it. I saw a sorcerer in a tactical walk up level 60 they were, right? Walk up. It was that fire Overload off. It's like, why are you doing that? You've got, you know, it wasn't the healer, he was queued as DPS, so I assume that he was one of the DPS specs. You've either got Death Field, alright, you've got the Lightning Storm. I'm surprised they didn't nerf that down, although they did nerf it a while ago, but you've got your Lightning Storm as well. It's like, why would you even walk up to the enemy and use Overload? It's like, it's a waste of time. Push them away from the melee. The Hated Assassin is, of course, getting Death Field, the same change. Death Field's getting reduced from 8 to 5 meters. Beat a dead horse, why don't you? The Assassin DPS, kind of irrelevant these days. I only play a tank now. It's the Assassin, so it's just a dead horse. The Bounty Hunter Missile Blast, who gives a shit, no one ever uses it, is base range is down from 10 meters. It's down to 10 meters from 30 meters, okay? Who gives a shit? Does anyone use Missile Blast? Healers, maybe. I don't know if it'll... Well, healers are... Maybe, well, mercs. I don't know if it'll affect mercs. Mercs don't use it anyway, unless you're a healer. It's good for knocking down weak enemies that come and attack you. That's what you use it for. You don't really use it for AoE, because it kind of sucks, but nobody really uses Missile Blast, not a big deal. Take it out of the game, and no one will miss it, really. Rail Shot, that's a big one. Rail Shot now has a base range of 10 meters, down from 30. Damn, that is it. The designer note here, Power Tech's range potential is currently too strong for a class that's intended to be played as a close quarters combatant. Power attacks are melee onslaught. Specialists should be encouraged to engage their targets in close proximity by reducing the range of missile blast. Who the fuck uses missile blast? It's a waste of energy. Like, it's a waste of energy. You use tactical surge if you are tactics, and you use what's it called? Ion pulse. You don't use missile blast. Even in AoE, you don't use it. It does so little damage. Use explosive surge for AoE. So who the fuck uses missile blast? Who's using missile blast? Unless you're a healer and you want to knock down weak enemies. So the only time I ever use it is, you know, a weak enemy comes towards me that the tank's missed, I knock him down. Or I've got my dart as well, or your sticky grenade, explosive dart you've got as well to stun them. But again, it just knocks down a weak enemy. But apart from that, it's pretty much useless. Rail shot is the big one. High impact bolt is on the Vanguard. I mean, why reduce it to 10? Why not reduce it to 15? Okay. Mercenaries retain their 30-meter range. Yeah, there you go. So through propulsion systems. Yeah, so it doesn't affect mercs. It's a nerf to the range of power techs. I like the power techs ability to... its ability to just move. And really, the power tech being able to sort of move around and be that flexible class in the game was its niche. You know, you've took away our niche. We're now just less effective shadows. We're shadows with heavy armor and no stealth now. You know, bringing all these classes into line and making them all sort of, you know, you're sort of converging them all together, and you're taking away the unique feeling of each class. Why bother rolling a power tech? Why not just roll a shadow? You get stealth, you know, shadow or scoundrel now. You know, the whole point of the power tech, yes, we had shit ton of mobility, which we have less. It is a cut to our mobility. Our ability to... Now we're going to get out DPS by sentinels, basically now. Because, you know, it's going to make Torque harder. It's going to make Bulow harder. It's not going to affect us on Master Blaster. It's going to make... not make it harder, but it's going to make us do less damage in that fight. We're going to lose DPS in those fights, where range is an issue. They haven't done it for Sticky Grenade, though, so we can still refresh our bleed if we're tactics back with the Sticky Grenade at least now. So at least that's the thing. I mean, Rail Shot, it is a very important ability if you're tactics, or what is it, advanced prototype, whatever the hell it's called on the power tech. Very, very important, because of course it builds stacks for a cell burst. Okay, and it also regens energy. So it is quite it doesn't seem like a big nerf, but it is quite a big, you know, quite a big thing. It's not going to affect us on the dummy parses, no effect, but in a fight, in an actual real scenario, in a sort of boss situation, PvP, it's going to affect us as well. Of course, we can't do as much range damage. We're still the kings of, well, the mercs arguably the kings of kiting, but we're still pretty good at kiting things. It's not really going to affect our ability to kite things. What have they said? We place power tech's range potential close to its design, close quarters combatant. Yeah, but you balance the fights around melee DP, around being melee unfriendly. That's the problem I have with that, is fights aren't very melee friendly. Even the Eternal Championship just isn't. Most of the fights way better if you're ranged, to be honest. So I don't see the point. Make it 15. Why 10? Why 10? 15 gives us less flexibility, yes, but it gives us more scope to move around. And it retains some of that uniqueness. Now we're just basically a shadow without stealth, or a scoundrel without stealth. You know, essentially. That's what we are, really. Because the scoundrel and the shadow, they're all 10-meter ranges. You know, I like the fact it made the Vanguard, the power tech, feel unique. And now it doesn't. Okay, and more nerfs for the power tech. We ain't done. Okay, suppressive tools reduces the movement speed of targets affected by a magnetic blast, flame burst, and flame sweep for 3 seconds. Down, it's down from 6 seconds now. So that's what they've said is the suppressive potential is too impressive with the suppressive tools utility. Doesn't really affect us in PvE. It's more of a PvP thing. Players fleeing from power techs are far too susceptible to suffering a perpetual state of reduced movement under the effects of suppressive tools. Okay, better experience balance. Power techs, target control potential, we reduce the duration of movement speed. The suppressive tools, to be honest, you can still just pull them back in if they get too far away. So, yeah, I mean, being a power tech, you've still got, you're still quite good at following people. You can, I guess, well, you can't really be kited as a power tech because you do have hold the line, which is kind of the, it purges a lot of your movement speed, your movement impairing effects, and of course you had the range. Obviously, we're down to 10 meters now for high impact bolt. Yeah, so I guess the suppressive tools. It's not really a thing that affects PvE, because PvE, when we're kiting in PvE, we generally kite Raptus PvE. Generally is the thing, and they're immune to movement impairing things, so it doesn't really matter. Shield cannon's getting nerfed. Oh, shield cannon now heals you for 3%, down from 5% total health when damaging a target with shoulder cannon. Say power tech survivability currently surpasses survivability of similar classes. Marauders. There you go. We are reducing the effectiveness of shield cannon, bringing the class more in line with other tank classes. Ooh, tank classes. Really. The most effective shield cannon was actually tactics, because you got 7 stacks. I don't know, gone are the days of tactics tanking. Tactics tanking. I miss that. Doing Firebrand and Stormcaller. HM, what we would do is, rather than have the tank swap, is I would sit on Stormcaller, I think it was. Whatever one, or no, it's Firebrand, the one that does incinerate armor. That one, I can't remember now. Cleo, her. Yeah, Cleo. She's a big tank now. Yeah, that one. The one that isn't Cleo. The one that does incinerate armor. What you would do is, nice DPS gain as well with reactive shield. What you would do is you would wait for the tank to get incinerate armor, and then I'd taunt, pop my shield, have the reflective shield buff, and gain a nice stack of DPS, and spam my shoulder cannon for some 35% of my health it healed me for. It was a nice DPS gain as well, because every time it hit me, it reflected damage back. So, Tactics Vanguard tanking was, it was a viable strategy. Particularly Firebrand and Stormcaller. It was viable there. Pretty viable. You'd tank for a bit, take a bit of damage. So yeah, they're nerfing shield cannon. It is quite a nerf. I don't know if it really will affect us. I'm surprised they didn't nerf reflective shield, because that's a really nice cheesing as a Tactics Vanguard. How many Tactics Vanguards out there taunted the boss in a flashpoint just to get hit by it for a DPS gain? Go on, you've done it. I've done it. I do it a lot. It's like, fuck it. Right, I'm going to blow me reactive shield. Boom. The boss is hitting me, and the tank goes apeshit at you in a hard mode flashpoint. A tactical flashpoint works out pretty nicely as well. Although I'm usually tanking anyway in a tactical flashpoint, so it doesn't really affect me taunting him. But yeah, it is an effective strategy. Taunt the boss. Take a few hits. You can do it in story mode up as well. I nearly got kicked from one for doing it. It's like, wow, it's a DPS increase. Taunting the boss. Taking a bit of damage. It's really good on Master Blaster. If you're doing Master and Blaster. What you do is, if you stand under Blaster, he does a trample thing where it does constant damage to you. If you stand under him with the reflective shield up, it's free DPS. You're doing like 11k burst. Pop all your cooldowns at the pool, blow your reactive shield, stand under him, and you're doing like 11k DPS. It's ridiculous. You get to ridiculous DPS numbers. There's a little cheese for you. The mercenary changes, propulsion systems have returned in a new form, increases the range of missile blast and rail shot by 20 meters, I guess. Acquired at level 10, so you're going to have, as a bounty hunter for the first 10 levels, you're going to be more melee based now. Propulsion systems returned to the designer notes and reading, granting mercenaries a range boost alongside their new missile blast and rail shot maximum range. To maintain their current range on live, Additional passive preserves the mercenary's design as a ranged specialist. Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They are ranged DPS, you know, or healers. So yeah, healers will get that as well. The other changes are just the Republic classes. So that's the changes for 4.5 so far. One necessary, I think. The Sorcerer, pretty much necessary. Is it going to have an effect in PvE? Probably not. Probably not. Madness is a bit of a shitter for PvP. PvE, if you got good tanks who can pull packs together and keep packs together, it's not going to be an issue, really. The Assassin, dead horse at the moment. Who cares? The power tech is a bit shit. Alright, the survivability nerfing, yeah, it makes sense. Their suppressive things make sense, I guess. But rail shot, 10 meters, make it 15. Or at least make the utility that gives us 12 meters. Because 2 meters makes a difference. Makes a difference to your DPS. It certainly does make a difference. But anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me. And welcome back to good old class nerfing videos. I miss doing those videos. It means we can do... that doesn't mean we're doing class guides again, really. I might do one. We might have a look at the... we'll do gameplay when 4.5 launches. Well, I'll go and play my Sage again, and we'll do some gameplay on the Sage, because that's the biggest one that's changed. We'll do that. Madness, we'll take a look at. We'll obviously take a look at the Vanguard, because it's our main. I haven't really done a raid for a while, so, you know, well, I did Friday Night Pugs when I'm recording this. This will go up on Sunday, I would imagine, but I will... take a look at the Vanguard when it goes live. Anyway, that's going to fuck up the Eternal Championship for us really badly. The final boss is actually going to be challenging for us as Vanguards now. So anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon, and goodbye.